I was at school in here. On the left, they put down the apples they sold us in winter time. Yeah, and I had to walk left and then up the stairs. And then the school room was, I think, on the first floor. Either this one here, looking up down here, or one more up, I'm not sure. Huh. But this one looked different. It was just pebbles. So now this is the new police building, or it's even something else, and this one is the police building, I'm not sure. Could be either. Could be either. Woo-hoo. Yeah. So that was what I was doing quite a lot in kindergarten. And the building we went into was this one, right there. Like walking all back there, and behind this bush would be the entrance, where you have this kind of veranda. So she would make us wash our hands and then show them openly to her. And if there was something, it wasn't well done. But usually she saw that, oh yeah, the hands have been wet. So then we could enter the rooms and play with the things with the clean hands. So yeah, I was on this thing here. I was quite a lot on this one because I loved to swing back and forth, because maybe the earth, I didn't really like too much walking on it, because I'm more into air and fire, not into water and earth. And then also when you swing through the air, still the magnet situation of this surrounding, you get to swing through. So maybe there it's plus and back here it's minus, so you actually charge like a battery when you go back and forth. Something like this must be happening right here, I tell you. Yes. And me being an adult, I still do so, because whenever there is a swing like this where you can go as an adult, I do so. So now we're gonna look what path I had to go from the kindergarten to where I lived and actually broke my leg. So I guess this path is new as well, because we would just walk all over the lawn. But these trees have always been like this. I would leave this area and there is still a lot of cars, and then I would go all towards this big cross road, and then I would have to pass 2 streets and go up there. You know, this is the side of the city we used to live. Can you see there where this car has been passing by? Up here I had to go. The older street became a so-called children street. So that is where cars are not allowed to drive too fast, because they inserted bumps, and also they put like these flowery things, so they kind of had to go. So you know, I cannot show you sort of. So well, this it was. So I was like, you know, hide and seek, and then running down here, and then right here the car tore some bags with it somewhere. And then I was lying down here, my everything hurt, and my mother came and she like dish kicked me into the side. So then she walked back again and had to call the doctors. So I was quite often, this one wasn't, I was quite often on this fence with the spikes, like doing stuff. And here we buried a bird once. And then my mother went up here and she did all the flowers up there, and I was always afraid she'd fall down. So this was the door. Actually, there is still a Meyer living here. So we lived where you have the Messerli in here. So this one wasn't. So I was driving with my bike back here and then like leaning on this wall, and then you had spiders crawling about here. And this actually was the backyard with nothing in it. Not even all these. These all grew down in the past years. So up there where this person seems to own a cat, we lived. And my room was the room looking out this way first, when I was small. This one. And then later on, I lived on the other side, looking down. So I'm not going further because our area was just like this, everything here. You know, there was a sand corner, used to be, now it's gone. And here was something you could hang on from here to here. So we would hang on this thing that people would use to clean their carpets. Well, a few days ago I went on Google and I went like, you know, all the fences are still the same and all these kind of old houses are still the same, and now they're building new stuff. It's gone now. So you see this area I'm talking about, because we used to, you know, walk in this area. Like we wouldn't go over these fences. You can still see them on Google. And then we would sort of go to these wooden huts and do stuff. So now they torn down all the buildings right there. So it has changed now. It's not the same. Google is lying. Because of course it's old pictures on Google. Whoa, everything is gone! Fuck! There was a staircase, there was houses, there was a children daycare, which still is around. There were people living here, there were gardens, there were tons of things, and now it's probably gonna be, not sure, parking lot, not sure. So even this one, you know, looks like they're tearing this one down pretty soon. So yeah, there you go. Even this one, this whole street is gonna be different. So someone, even this building. So what about my sister's friend? Because the farmost building was their home. They were called Blersch. So maybe they're, no, they're gone as well. It's their house. We used to visit them and then play in the garden. But now they seem to be gone as well. The whole street, they're tearing it down, you know, they're open, all the windows. So she lived here. And this was the daycare, I guess. Or it was right one, you know, this was something, and then there was the daycare. Woo! So this officially now is the end of the street. And as I was telling you, you know, it's this sign. They put for the children's street where you can only drive 20 kilometers per hour. Yeah, so that's it. So now we're going downward again towards the city and say goodbye. I'm still in my flip-flops. So I would also deliver the newspaper to this hotel. So I would walk up the stairs, go in. There's the newspaper, you know, the free magazine of the city, giving it to them, and then head out again. And the building beside it was the kindergarten school where the people that wanted to become a kindergarten teacher went to, which probably still is, you know. In here a lot of suffering takes place, to put it short. And now you probably remember we have started the whole tour and everything down there, like coming from this red place, then crossing this street, and you know, this bus hasn't been here kind of on this route when I was small. And also, yeah, they changed the pavement a bit. But here we started. We crossed this street and then we went through these buildings. So now we're gonna head back to the train station, and then we're gonna go to see Eki in the monastery. We're gonna give him a vapor device so that he can smoke his whatever herbs from the kitchen with this device. So yeah, there you see the balls hanging. So now we're taking the other way through this whole thing. So here you see the cars, and there used to be all sorts of stuff. But living here, you would never ever go around these buildings. You would always, even if it's kind of annoying, pass through these buildings, because then you don't have to walk where you would pass cars or whatever. So we're gonna do as I used to. So here we are again, the very famous place. My father once slapped me in front of everyone because he didn't like my proud cycling I did. There was a street festivity and they had put a ghost town in one of the cellars, and then they put a bicycle outside you could hump on and just be, I think, creating some energy. I'm not sure. This is the synagogue, and because I was on that device, he slapped me. So that was that kind of narcissistic behavior that I had to endure as a child. So here we are again. So again we are walking past these buildings to get to the station as such. Well, there is a bus coming, so I'm like, you know, crossing the street just somewhere, because there is a lot of places where you don't have cars. You tend to kind of cross the streets, as we say, like a hen, just somewhere, because you know that the bus is gonna stop anyhow right there. So, you know, so bye for now. I have to make sure I'm not losing myself again and kind of have to wait 1 more hour to get to the nearby town that I'm heading to.